Math 155, Module 4.3 Integrated Review. So, in Module, in Chapter 4, so there's a 4.3, and this is the 4.3 Integrated Review, where we're going to talk about decimals and percent. So, in this video, let's take a look at how we're going to converting decimal numbers to percent. So, real quick, the word percent comes from the Latin word per sectum, meaning per hundred, okay, per hundred. So that means sometimes we can say percent means per hundredth with the s at the end, hundredth, all right, or is the ratio of a number to 100, all right, a ratio of a number to 100. So that would be 1 over 100, or when we normally say hundredth, that also means per hundred or 100th. 100th means 100 is a denominator. So normally if we read 1 over 100 correctly, that will be 100th. Okay, that's the same exact thing. All right. So that's the reason why normally when we convert decimals to percent, okay, we actually multiply the decimal by 100, or we move the decimal places to the right 2 places, because multiply the decimal to the right 2 places is equivalent of times 100. So what I need you to do is be able to do both. Whenever you see a decimal, I need you to be able to quickly convert them into percent by moving the decimal to the right 2 places, or quickly use the calculator times 100. So 0.9 actually means 90%. Because if I move my decimal to the right 2 places, that gives me 1 empty slot to put a 0 in. So 0.031, move the decimal to the right 2 places, which will give me 3.1%. Or if I do it in the calculator, take 0.031 times 100, that will convert into a percent. So it's very important that in the calculator, to get to percent, to turn the decimal into a percent, we got to always times 100. When you do it just by looking at it, make sure you move the decimal to the right 2 places. So this number 8, okay, a lot of students say 8 is not a decimal number. Well, the decimal is actually behind the 8. So if I want to convert my 8, okay, to a percent, I move to the right 2 places, which will give me 2 empty slots to put my 0 in. So 8 actually means 800%. If I take 8 times 100, that is actually 800%, because 100% is equivalent to whole number 1. So any whole number bigger than 1 is actually over 100%. That's why 8 means 800%. Kind of makes sense. All right, 0.07, move to the decimal to the right 2 places real quick. That will tell me that's a 7%. All right. So just kind of quickly show y'all how to convert all decimal numbers, okay, into a percent. Now, how do I know none of these 4 examples are percent? Because none of the 4 problem, okay, has a percent notation on them. Okay, so basically what we have is any number attached with a percent sign is considered as a percent notation. All right, then those are a different type of problem. All right, so let's take a look real quick. All right, do it backwards, converting all the percents into decimals. So here I got 4 quick examples plus this word problem. So all 4 of them has a percent notation on them. Okay, so all these 4 are percent. So if I start out with percent, I want to convert them into decimal notation. I got to move my decimal to the left 2 places. Left 2 places is the equivalent of divided by 100. So if I take my 3.6%, move my decimal to the left 2 places, that would be 0.036. Okay, so that will be my decimal answer. All right, 0.11%, move the decimal to the left 2 places, or divided by 100. There's actually an empty slot right here. I can put my 0 behind the decimal, so my answer is going to be 0.0, and this 0 is already there, 11. 0.11% divided by 100, that will be 0.0011. Okay. Okay, so every time you see a percent and need to convert into a decimal, we always move the decimal to the left 2 places. And the reason why we always turn percent into a decimal or a fraction is because when we're dealing with word problems, okay, involving with percent, in order for us to do operations such as add, subtract, multiply, and divide, we always have to convert those decimal into convert those percent into a decimal or a fraction before we can do the operation. All right, 30%, decimals behind the 0. 3 move 2 places to the left, so that will be point. That will be 0.3 or 0.30. All right, 274% is already over 100%. So my whole number, so my answer, my decimal answer, got to be bigger than 1. So my decimal behind the 4, move 2 places to the left, so that will be 2.74. Okay, which is bigger than 1. All right, let's quickly go over this problem. A credit card company charged 0.069% interest per day for credit. So write this interest rate in decimal form. So if I take 0.069% and move my decimal 2 places to the left, decimal is here now, 1 empty slot right behind the decimal place. That will tell me my answer is 0.0. All right, how many zeros should I have? 0 right here. A 0 already come with the problem. Another 0 and a 69. So that's 0.00069. That's in terms of decimal notation. All right, if I do it in the calculator, just typing 0.069 divided by 100. Okay, that will give me this crazy looking answer. If you ever seen this crazy looking answer, that's representing 6.94. Okay, that's 6.9 e negative 4. It's a scientific notation, actually representing 6.9 times 10 to the negative 4 power. So when you see a scientific notation like that, we just basically take this decimal and move it to the left 4 places. 1, 2, 3, 4. Decimal's here now. 1, 2, 3. 3 empty slot for me to put my 0 in front of the 6. So it's the same answer. Now, this is a step 2 out of 2 for this particular problem. All right, what is the annual rate of interest? So this 0.069% is per day. What is the annual rate of interest for this credit card? Assuming the business year is 360. All right, so I actually turn my 0.069% already into a decimal, which is 0.00069. So this is per day for 1 day. So annual rate, that will be for 360 days. So I times by 360. Be careful now, this is a decimal notation. So if I say 0.00069 times 360, this answer is not a percent, but the decimal form. This is actually 0.24. 0.24, what was that? Oh, sorry, 0.2484. All right, so this is not percent yet unless I move my decimal to the right 2 places or times 100. So my answer is actually 24.84%, okay, for this problem. Let me times 100. All right, so in this lecture video, if you we talk about convert decimal to percent, we got to times 100 or move my decimal to the right 2 places. If I want to turn a percent into a decimal notation, I just do it backwards, which is move my decimal to the left 2 places or divide it by 100. All right, that will conclude this quick lecture video on conversion between decimals and percent. Thank you for watching.